Welcome to my review. This is a wire review of the Crazy Wire Company, and the wire we're going to be having a review of today is the Hive wire. This Hive wire is made from Canthal and we've got it in 30 gauge format. I'll explain a bit more about the 30 gauge as I show you more of the coil. Before I start, I'd just like to mention how much I do enjoy the packaging that the spools come in. They come in this lovely little bag, and at the bottom it says produced with love in Warrington, UK. The great little bags. They also protect your spool whilst it's in postage, and on the postage front I've always had very good delivery times when ordering from the Crazy Wire Company. They are very quick to process your order and get that out to you. So we're going to have a look at the Hive wire. As I've mentioned, it is Canthal. We're going to have a close-up look of the wire, so I will zoom in on it so you can see what it looks like, and I'll tell you how it performs and how I believe Hive wire is made. So here's a close-up look of the Hive wire. It's not the prettiest of wires, and I think that's been a problem for Hive wire over the years in the vaping world, with people producing very stunning looking coils. Is people have moved away from Hive because they just don't believe it's a particularly pretty wire for making pretty looking coils. However, I like Hive wire. I use it a lot, and I use it a lot because you do get good flavour from it. As you can see in there's lots of little pockets and little crevices where the juice can go, and when you ramp up that coil, those pockets of juice just fire out flavour. So I think it's a great wire for flavour. How I understand Hive coil to be made is there's 4 strands of wire in there, and 2 are placed together and twisted, another 2 are placed together and twisted, and then those 2 are then placed together and then twisted in reverse, and that's what wraps up to make the Hive coil. So there are 4 strands of wire in there. I did have a piece of wire that I'd pulled apart to show you the 4 different wires, but I can't find it and I'm not going to pick it apart again. But yeah, it is a great coil, and it can last a long time. I also find I like to wrap it alongside Clapton wire as well. So you've got Clapton Hive, etc. to make a really nice looking coil. Like I say, it's had a bit of a bad press over the years, Hive, but it does perform really well. I really enjoy it, and I do use Hive coil a lot. So I'm going to show you it wrapped up and put on an RDA and show you what it looks like as coils sitting in an RDA. There you go. So there is some Hive wire wrapped around a 3mm bit and plopped in an RDA so you can see what it looks like wrapped. I think that does look quite pretty. I've got no issues with the way that looks, and I certainly have no issue with the way that vapes. You do get an incredible amount of flavour from it. At the moment, the Crazy Wire Company are selling a 5-metre spool of this for $5.99, and that's a lot of wire for your money. It performs really well. Canthal is a very popular wire, and it does ramp up really well depending on how many wraps you've got on there. I can't remember how many wraps I've put on there. I think there's about 8, I think. And once that's wicked and firing, it does produce really good flavour, and they do really last a long time. And if you know what you're doing with regards to cleaning coils, you can certainly clean it, get the gunk off, wick it up again, and away you go. They are really good. It's also a very versatile wire, and it can certainly be wrapped around other coils to make different and more interesting looking coils. But as a wire goes, just straight off the spool, wrapped around a bit, whacked in your RDA, it really is a good wire with lots of really good flavour. Don't take my word for it, there are other reviews, but I really get good flavour from Hive wire, and this Hive wire produced by the Crazy Wire Company is really good. I enjoy it and I can recommend it, so I hope that helps. At $5.99 for 5 metres, it's a great price. You're going to get an awful lot of coil for your money, and I've used other manufacturers' Hive wire, and this performs well up there with all the top branded names. I do say that the wire company is a brand name. They've been around for many years, so they know what they're doing, and it's a great wire and I can recommend it. I have no real negatives that I can say about it. Some people might say it's not pretty, but I think it does look pretty in that format sitting on an RDA, and certainly when you wrap it alongside Claptons, etc., then yeah, it can look even nicer as well. But as a wire, it's a great wire, lasts a long time, loads of little pockets for juice. Yeah, I'd highly recommend Hive wire. And thank you for listening to this review. I hope it helps.